Mother-in-law tried to breastfeed my baby. English is not my first language, so I apologize for any mistakes. I, 30 female, went to my mother-in-law's place today with my baby girl, 7 months, because next week I'll go back to work and we agreed that she'll keep my baby for 3 days from Monday until Wednesday. I wanted to show her how a regular afternoon was, like at what time she eats, sleeps, or plays. What?
I'm just imagining she's like, at this time I breastfeed, and the mother-in-law's like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Perfect. Yeah. She's like, okay,
like
2:30?
Yeah, not
Check.
even like doing this in a cynical way, like strictly doing this in like a, she says we breastfeed.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, you breastfeed? Say no more.
I will do what you want.
Okay. So it was nap time and my baby was crying a little. She sometimes does this when she wants to sleep. My mother-in-law wouldn't stop making comments like my baby wants to keep playing or she's hungry or she needs her diaper changed. I keep explaining that no, she's just tired. Talking to a wall would have been better. That's funny.
I say that all the time about people.
Because she didn't listen and just did what she wanted. I was mad, but I tried to keep my cool and keep explaining to her. So after 1 hour of trying and my mother-in-law giving me a headache, my baby fell asleep. She woke up a half hour later, and of course my mother-in-law was playing with her. She was laughing, and then she told me that 1 month earlier, when I left my baby with her one afternoon to go clean the house we purchased, she breastfed her. My daughter tried to take the milk for a few minutes until she realized there was nothing. My brain seriously stopped working. It felt so gross. For example, my mother-in-law is around 75 years old, and I know that day my baby didn't want to take her feeding bottle, and she apparently cried for hours before I came, while my mother-in-law decided it wasn't an option to call me because I was busy. I wanted to take my daughter and run away. I couldn't speak for a few minutes. My husband, 33, came 5 minutes later and we went home. I told him what she did and he called her right away, telling her she was crazy. He also told me that she won't babysit our daughter and if needed, he won't work those 3 days. I don't know what people will think, but I don't feel good at all. Oh my God. That is fucked.
Yeah, not to say I'm speechless, but like, what do you even say?
No, yeah, speechless. That's insane. The mother-in-law is out of line.
Not even like, is she psycho? Is she dumb? Is she malicious? Like, I don't even know.
I think she probably is entitled and she wants to be the baby's mom, maybe.
You think?
I mean,
her own kid's baby?
I don't know. Like, you always hear those stories of like the crazy grandma being like, oh, you're my baby. Like, you're my baby. And it's cute if you're just like, if it's a couple times. But like, there are crazy grandparents that feel entitled to their children's children. Like, oh, you're my child's child, you're mine. They can make decisions for them and like,
I mean, I get that.
Crazy.
I mean, you're right. There absolutely that exists. And like a lot of even like aunts and uncles can be like that. And like I get it. Like, you know, like it's not okay, but like I can see how it happens. But does that lead to wanting to breastfeed the baby yourself?
I think so. I mean, I think that she probably, she wanted to feel like a mom and she wanted to feel like she was comforting the baby. And like maybe she is just like severely missing something and she thought that this would soothe the baby. Like maybe she had good intentions. I don't think she did. I don't know. It's just giving she has no fucking clue.
Yeah.
Like I don't think she did it to hurt anyone.
Right.
But she just is severely missing something. She's missing a lot of things.
Couple brain cells.
Yeah, I don't know. It's horrible. And I feel so bad for the baby because they get into such like habits, you know? And like sometimes it can be so hard to teach a baby how to breastfeed. And then they did that for 7 months and now all of a sudden like something is not working. Like something that should be positive and comforting for this little baby is not. And that can be traumatic.
I can't even imagine being a mom that like can no longer breastfeed because someone like fucked that up for them.
Yeah, I don't think it would be like that severe if it only happened one time. I don't know. Who knows? So. Maybe it would.
I mean, I hope not. Like, I hope that, because moms try so hard to breastfeed. I can't.
I know. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's disgusting. And I would never leave her alone with the baby again. I think that the husband could even talk to her about it and be like, what the fuck were you thinking?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's almost like the mother-in-law doesn't even think she did anything wrong.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, what was her intention if she really truly thinks this is just like an okay thing?
Yeah. Like I feel like
she just
I think so. I think she's just dumb. Side note, do you know that anyone can breastfeed, even men?
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? Did you know that?
Men have milk ducts?
I've heard that if you do like the sucking motion, like it obviously wouldn't happen because a baby wouldn't do it, but like if a baby sucked on like any nipple for long enough, it would eventually like start doing milk.
Are we sure that's the case in men?
I think it is. Wait, I'm gonna look it up.
Because like so many people have a third nipple, and I can't imagine, like it's just like not usually like a fully formed nipple, like no milk is gonna come out of that. This just can't be true.
Can a male produce breast milk? Can a person who is male produce breast milk? The short answer is yes, anyone can lactate. All children and teenagers have a small amount of breast tissue. If that tissue is exposed to hormones like estrogen and progesterone during puberty, it develops into a breast capable of making milk. So I guess if it was a man, but isn't there estrogen in certain foods, like in soy?
Yeah, but like the amount I think that you would need is probably like, you know what? I take care of skin for a living. This is not my expertise. I don't know.
Can men breastfeed? The answer is yes. Although rare, there are historical records of men breastfeeding their infants, usually when the mother was unable because of illness or death. Okay, I don't know why I thought that was like such a fact. Like anyone can.
Yeah, it's just no.
I guess it's rare. But it says, how is this possible? Well, a breast is a breast, even if it's on a male. It's not unusual for human males to secrete milk at birth and at puberty due to surges of hormones. Hundreds of men who were imprisoned in concentration camps in World War II, after suffering months of starvation, began lactating after their recovery. Male lactation can also be induced by tumors in the pituitary gland and by some pharmaceutical drugs. The one thing that ties all these seemingly unrelated factors together is the hormone prolactin. Okay, so maybe it has nothing to do with the sucking and it's actually I guess it would, like the baby would still need to suck on the nipple. Maybe that's what that statement meant.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're also thinking from like the baby has to suck on the mom, like the more the baby sucks, the more milk, the more.
Yeah, so maybe it only happens if there's prolactin in the male.
Yeah.
Wow, we're learning so much. Okay,
this is honestly something I can say I did not learn in my maternity course in nursing school.
Yes.
I'm gonna write a letter to Professor Stern and ask her about it.
So the baby does need to suck on the nipple, but that's not the only thing that needs to happen for men to breastfeed.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
No.
Wow, that's so interesting. Okay, good thing
it's not that interesting.
You don't think that's interesting?
I think that I didn't think that most men could produce milk, and I still don't think that. So
well, it's not about being a man. It's about the hormone prolactin. So I feel like most men could produce milk if we give them prolactin. Okay. Anyway, yeah, your mother-in-law's a fucking crazy person.
And so is Kelly.
I just think that's interesting because if you asked me before I learned this, do men breastfeed or could a man breastfeed? I'd be like, no, that's crazy talk.
You just said yes. You would have said yes, anyone with a nipple can breastfeed.
I said before I learned this.
Before you learned this right here.
No, like what I brought up. The fact that anyone in theory.
And where did you learn that?
I learned it on a podcast, actually. They were talking about it.
Was it a medical podcast?
No, but this is not a medical podcast and people just learned from it.